everyone, welcome to our practice today. It's going to be a bit of a Pilates inspired session today. So we're going to be thinking about working our deep tummy muscles. I'm sitting on my blanket, my little throne. You can either do the same, or you can just sit straight on your mat, or maybe sit on your yoga block. Just get nice and comfortable, maybe have a little wiggle. And then have a lovely long spine, close the eyes, crown of the head towards the ceiling, and just soften the face, the shoulders, elbows, hands, fingers. And those hands can be just resting on the thighs or maybe the feet, whichever feels most comfortable for you. I'm just going to do a few rounds of our natural breath. Just giving yourself some time to settle onto your mat. I'm going to start breathing wide and full to the front, the side, the back of our rib cage, our lateral thoracic breathing. So just inhale to the front, side, back of the rib cage, feel that rib cage expand. And nice long easy exhale, feeling the rib cage soften. Inhale wide and full. I'm just going to carry on in your own time. Our breathing patterns are all going to vary. Making sure you're breathing into the back of that rib cage. So just imagine the lungs being a cylinder that you're filling up. And start to inhale and exhale through the nose if that feels comfortable for you. Check that the face is still soft and the shoulders are still soft. Let's do 2 more rounds. And just slowly flutter your eyes open. I'm just going to change my position on the mat. Bring your hands to the knees. Keep those hands and fingers, elbows soft, shoulders soft. Starting off with some spinal mobility. Sit up nice and tall. Just gently draw that belly button in and start to round on that lower back. So C shape in that lower back, coming into a seated cat. So curling vertebrae by vertebrae, maybe release the chin towards the chest. And then as you inhale, slowly uncurl lower back, restacking the vertebrae one by one. Sit up nice and tall, lift that chin, look straight ahead so you're not looking up at the ceiling, crown of the head towards the ceiling. And exhale, rounding, lower back, mid back, upper back, all the way up to that neck. And as you inhale, slowly uncurl, stacking the vertebrae one by one, working with your own range of movement. Let's carry on, we're going to do 2 more. Slowly come all the way up. You can keep the hands where they are if that feels comfortable for you. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe wide and full, front, side, back of the rib cage. And as you exhale, just gently blow the exhale out through the mouth. And then we're going to engage our deep tummy muscles, your TVA, your transverse abdominis, and then we're going to hold that and breathe around, wide and full, our lateral thoracic breathing. So inhale, wide and full. As you exhale, activate those deep tummy muscles. So whether you think of a gentle hug in or bracing, you may think about scooping up and in, you may think about hollowing. Whichever visualization works for you, holding it here. We're not going to hold it 100% of maximum contraction, and you're going to keep holding it there and breathe wide and full. Checking that you haven't tilted that pelvis or C-shaped that spine. Let's do one more breath. And as your last exhale, just slowly release, pause in here. Inhale, wide and full. As you exhale, activate those deep tummy muscles. I'm thinking of hugging into the midline. Holding it here, keep breathing wide and full. Palms together, hands through to heart center. Allow the thumbs to connect to the chest. Keep that gentle hug in, keep breathing wide and full. Keep that lovely long spine. Elbows are down. Coming into some rotations. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, just gently rotate round to the left. Slowly come back round to center and rotate round to the right. So I'm inhaling to center, round to the left. And as I'm exhaling, I'm coming round to the right. So if your breath pattern is slightly different from mine, don't worry. Just keep breathing wide and full. And just keep the movement nice and slow and controlled. Keep that lovely long spine, crown of the head towards the ceiling. And let's do one more each side. And slowly come to center and release. If you're sitting on a block or your throw, just move it out the way. And then just slowly crawl your way around. And we're all going to meet up in tabletop. Once you get there, spread the fingers wide. Soften the fingers, push down through the pads of the fingers. Check that the shoulders are over the wrists. Shoulder blades are in neutral, so on the back of the rib cage. You're not rounding out that back and pushing down into the floor. Pelvis is in neutral, so the hips are pointing down towards the mat. Knees are roughly underneath the hips. Toes can be tucked or feet can be flat on the floor. So let's practice our lateral thoracic breathing, that breathing wide and full to the front side of the rib cage, and combining that with our TVA activation. So take a nice deep breath in, wide and full. Gently blow the exhale out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, activate the core, so whether it's that gentle hug in or scooping up and in, hold it here, not too tight. And you're going to hold that there and keep breathing in, wide and full. Easy exhale, in and out through the nose. Now I have a habit of dropping my head down, so let's all check to make sure that our head is up. So you're looking down towards the mat, next in on the rest of the spine, and then check that you're not tilting the chin up by looking straight ahead. Let's do one more. And then from here, keep that gentle hug in, tuck the toes, check the shoulders are over the wrists, and then float the knees off the floor and come into a knee hover. So check that your shoulders haven't pushed back away from the wrist, or you're not hovering forward. So you're just lifting straight up. Maybe half an inch, maybe less, maybe an inch. And keep breathing wide and full. It's quite tough, so if you need to come down, please come down and just stay in tabletop and finish your breathing. And on your next exhale, lower the knees down. Shoulders over wrist. Take a nice deep breath in. Gently blow the exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, exhale, activate activate the core. Tuck the toes, hover the knees off the floor, and then push the hips up and back. Come into a bent knee down dog. Check your base. So check in with the hands that you're spreading the fingers wide. Push up through the arms. Open the armpit. Relax the head and neck. And then think about lengthening out that spine. So on a lovely long spine. Keep those knees bent. So it's more important to have a lovely long spine and that you're not rounding that lower back than it is to lengthen out those legs. Pause in here. And on your next exhale, slowly lower the knees down towards the floor. Pause here for a moment. Let's knee hover again. So tuck the toes, gentle hug into the midline, float the knees off the floor. Keep that gentle hug in. Check in with the shoulders, check in with that neck. And exhale, lower the knees to the floor. Lean to the left. Just make room to step that right foot forward. Slowly coming up to your 90-90 kneeling lunge. Top of the left foot. Push that down towards the floor. Push it down. Left knee, left hip. Right knee, right ankle. Check that that pelvis is in neutral. Gentle hug into the midline. And then a gentle squeeze of that right glute. So maybe have a poke. Making sure that glute's on, wake that glute up. Look straight ahead and just roll the shoulders back one at a time. Nice and easy. Use those deep tummy muscles to stabilise that pelvis. Keep that lower back in neutral. And let's do one more shoulder roll, right, left. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Have a lovely long stretch. Feel those shoulder blades lift, 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 lift all the way up. Exhale, hinge down, lean to the left, slide that right foot back. Come to tabletop, set your base. Neutral, shoulder blades in neutral, pelvis in neutral. Gentle hug into midline. Let's do that knee hover again. Pause in here, breathing wide and full. Nice and easy exhale, one more inhale. And as you exhale, lower the knees to the floor, lean to the right just to make room to slide that left foot forward. Slowly come up, check your base, push down through the top of that right foot. Checking in, pelvis in neutral, gentle hug in. This time the right glute is on, core is on. Pause in here. Pushing down through both feet, float the right arm up. And then slowly lower and bring the left arm up. So just slowly float the arms up, slowly float down, and then the other arm comes up. Pelvis is stabilised by those deep tummy muscles. Lower back's in neutral. Right glute is on. And let's float both arms all the way up. Have a lovely long stretch. And then slowly come all the way down to tabletop. And then from here, side plank variation. Just gently roll onto the left. You can kickstand that left lower leg out. And then from here, open out. Place the right hand on that left shoulder and check. Look down, check that the shoulder is in line. Gentle hug into the midline. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Just take your time when you come into your side planks. You do not have to look up at the ceiling. You can look down at the hand or gaze down at the mat or straight ahead. Check that the core is still on. Activate both glutes, hip extension. Stay here, or maybe reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Try and roll open, stay in, just move my hair out of the way, broad across the collarbones. Pause in here and breathe. And exhale, just roll it all the way back down to tabletop. And then just gently roll onto the right. And then just check in. I'm bringing my left hand to my right shoulder. I'm looking down to check my placement. I'm just looking down at my right knee, just taking your time. Left hand, left hip. And then from here, check that that core is on. Check in with the neck. Making sure that you're not dropping it down or leaning it forward or leaning it back. Glutes are on, hip extension, and then maybe reach the left fingertips, up towards the floor. And breathe wide and full. Think about lifting up. So you're not sagging down in that right side. Check in with that lower back. And on your next exhale, slowly come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, set your base. Hover the knees off the floor and hips up and back, down dog. You can stay in your bent knee down dog, or you can lengthen out the knees a little bit more. Check that you're pushing up through the arms. Lengthen out the armpit, relax the head and neck. Spine is nice and long. Pause in here. Keep that gentle hug into the midline. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly roll out to high plank. Lower the knees down. Check that the shoulders are still over the wrist. Check that you're not dropping that belly down, that those hips are lifted, pelvis in neutral, shoulder blades are in neutral. Check that you're not dropping that head down. Pause in here. And then from here, just roll to the right, step that left foot forward. And then from here, just bring that right knee underneath the right hip. Check that you're on two lines, not one. Slowly come up. You can keep the toes tucked to that right foot. Option is to stay here, or you can slowly come all the way up to your high lunge, high crescent. So in this position, you've really got to use those deep tummy muscles to stabilize that pelvis. Check the base. You do not need to lengthen out that right leg. You may need to bend it a little bit more. And then from here, you can bring the arms up to shoulder height. Now if you find you can't stabilise your pelvis or your balance is not very good today, just come down to that right knee. Pause in here. Then from here, we're going to do bow and arrow. Right hand is holding that bow. Left hand is going to be holding the string. Keep looking straight ahead. Using those deep tummy muscles to stabilise. We're going to pull back on the bow, keep looking straight ahead. We'll get a slight rotation. Left elbow comes back. And then you're going to slowly come forward. And then you're going to pull it back. Right glute is on. Keep hugging into the midline. And breathe. So there's lots to remember to do. We're going to pull back. And again, pull it back. We're going to do one more. And slowly bring it back. Just release the arms. Slowly lower that knee down to the floor. Just roll those shoulders back. I'm just doing both at a time. And then just slowly come all the way forward. Tuck the toes, set your base. Take a nice deep breath in. And float the knees off the floor, hips up and back, coming into your down dog. So remember, it can be a bent knee down dog, or you can lengthen out the knees slightly. Just keep the length in that spine. Keep that gentle hug into the midline. Making sure you're pushing up through the arms. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, roll out. Now you can stay in your high plank, or you can lower the knees down to the floor for your 3/4 plank. Your choice, holding it here. Check your base. Pelvis in neutral, gentle hug into the midline. If you're in your high plank, really energize those legs. Soften the knees though. And then just push back with the heels. Shoulders are over the wrists, shoulder blades in neutral. And then your next exhale will all meet in our 3/4 plank. And then from here, just lean to the right, step that right foot forward, bring that left knee underneath that left hip, tuck the left toes, slowly come up. Remember your options, you can stay here or slowly come all the way up. Guys, I've just realised I've done the same leg. That's better. Okay. Pause in here. Pelvis in neutral. Right glute is on. Hold that bow, and then let's pull back. Keep looking straight ahead, just a slight rotation as you pull back. Keep the hips square onto the front of the mat. Let's do one more. Slowly lower down. Pausing here. Just roll those shoulders back. And then slowly come all the way down. Tabletop. Set your base. And then from here, let's roll to the left. Coming into a side plank variation. Let's layer it up. Shoulder with the wrist. Check that the glutes are on. Core is on. And when you're ready, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Only if that feels comfortable. Checking your base. Maybe bring the right foot off the floor. Hold it here, looking straight ahead, down at the floor, down at your hand. Just see what feels comfortable for your neck. And breathe. And breathe. And then let's just slow down, roll back, tabletop. Roll to the right, just taking your time. Shoulder, wrists, glutes, core is on. Rolling that belly open, fingertips up towards the ceiling, check in with that neck. Maybe float that left foot off the floor. So we don't have to be in a mad rush. And let's slowly come back to tabletop. And let's roll all the way back round to your side plank on the left. Just taking your time. Get nice and comfortable. Staying here, or maybe bringing the right bicep by the right ear if that feels comfortable for you. And breathe. And let's just slowly come back to tabletop and roll it round to the right. Just taking your time, layering it up. Maybe left bicep is by the left ear. And just remember, each time you practice, you may feel different, which is fine. And let's slowly come back to tabletop. Let's tuck the toes. And let's knee hover into our down dog. And then in your down dog, maybe you want to sway the hips. Maybe you'd like to pedal out the feet, so you're walking out your dog, so bend in and let in one leg at a time. Just take it nice and easy. And then come back to stillness. Soften the knees. Gentle hug into the midline. Let's all roll out to a high pause in here. Slowly lower the knees down, tabletop. Take a nice deep breath in as you exhale, round the spine, coming into your cat. Rounding vertebrae by vertebrae. As you inhale, slowly uncurl vertebrae by vertebrae. Come into your neutral spine, soften the chest, relax the belly. Exhale, rounding vertebrae by vertebrae for cat. Maybe you're releasing the head down. And as you inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly uncurl. Coming through to neutral, then soften the chest, relax the belly. Let's do one more. And then let's all meet in our easy cross-legged. Have a little wiggle, weight even on both seat bones. And then from here, just gently lean to the left, so the left lower arm is on the thigh. And then slowly come up and over, lean to the right, right lower arm to that right thigh. And then slowly come up, let's do that one more each side. Up and over. We're going to do that one more time. You're going to have the choice, either keeping that left lower arm on that thigh, maybe the hand comes to the floor, maybe the left lower arm come into a nice side stretch. If that right leg lifts up, that's fine, just rolling the belly open, and then maybe releasing that left ear down towards that left shoulder. Just enjoy this nice side opening of the right side of the body. See how you feel. Maybe the hand comes down, maybe that right lower arm. And then maybe release that right ear down towards that right shoulder, rolling that belly open. And then just slowly come all the way up. Close those eyes. Maybe have a little bit of a shoulder roll, maybe a little wiggle. Just getting yourself nice and comfortable. Check that that spine is nice and long. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then just come to stillness if that feels comfortable for you. You can keep that little wiggle, that little sway going. And just bring your awareness to the breath. The air flowing in through the nose, the air flowing out through the nose. Just that natural breath. Then just bring your awareness to your body and the parts of your body in contact with the floor. So the outside edges of the feet, the outside of that lower leg, maybe the top of the thighs, the seat bones, your glutes. And just keep your awareness there, staying connected to the floor. And slowly bring awareness back to the spine. Keep the length in the spine. Checking with the head, is it dropping forward or back? Check in that the face is soft, the shoulders, elbows, fingers and hands are soft. And then just bring awareness back to the breath. The air flowing in, the air flowing out. And you can stay here for as long as you like. Maybe switching your awareness from the breath to the body, parts of the body in contact with the earth. I'd like to thank you very, very much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon.